Amazing fall. Was it a crazy summer for you guys? It was so crazy for me. Hey, body love coach, Wise Paws, good to see you. Ginger. Crazy summer for me. Was it for you? Like all the planetary shifts and things going on and growth, and so excited to be back with you guys. Thank you so much for filling out my One Thing Health survey. I'm wanting what you're wanting help with regarding your health right now so that I can create programs and trainings for you to get where you want to be with your health, because that's what I do. And I'm doing a training this Thursday talking about hormones, which is my favorite topic because everything really comes from hormones. Hormones are the regulators and communicators in your body. So every health problem you have has at its foundation a hormone problem because it's got a communication or regulation problem, right? If you think about it, in any system, what's most important for a system to function optimally? Communication. If you don't believe me, go into any third grade classroom this week where the regular teacher is out sick and didn't give the lesson plan to the sub teacher. What's happening in that classroom, which is a system? Chaos. Kids are running around throwing spitballs and playing tag because there's been no communication, there's no regulation. Your hormones are the communicators and regulators of all your systems. So every health problem has at its foundation hormones. So I'm doing another teaching this Thursday free for you. You can sign up on my website, KieranDunstonMD.com. And tomorrow when I come live, I'll put the link up, the direct link here for you. But I wanted to make sure, like, I know hormones are the most important thing, but you might not know that, and you might have other concerns. Hi, Ivy, Fit and Healthy. So I did a survey. If you didn't submit your question, you still can. I think I've got the link. If I don't have it up there now, I'll get it up there. And thank you to all of those who have submitted your questions. So let's start going through them. And I'm going to go live 30 minutes each day and until we get them all answered. So don't worry, I will answer yours. Let me get on my comments here because I see some eyeballs, but I can't see people. Why can't I see your comments? I see your eyeballs. I don't know. Nobody's commented. That's why. Put a comment. Say, hey, Kieran, it's happy Saturday. Let me know you're here. Let me know who's here. All right. So the first question, which is a question I get a lot, is how to reverse autoimmune disease. So these are totally anonymous questions. No, you don't have to enter any identifying information, your name, email, nothing. You just put your question. So thank you for submitting that, whoever did. And this is one I get a lot. So kudos to you for knowing that autoimmune disease can be reversed, because a lot of people don't realize that when they go to their $30 copay doctor. They're not told that. They're told, you have lupus, you're going to have it for the rest of your life. You have MS, you're going to have it for the rest of your life. You have Hashimoto's, you're going to have it for the rest of your life. How many of you watching, wherever you're watching, have an autoimmune disease or auto antibodies, and you've been told basically like it's for granted you're going to have it forever? Let me know in the chat. I want to know, because that's what we doctors, regular doctors, believe, right? That's how I was taught. That's how they were taught. And we just do what we're taught. So good for you for knowing that that's not the case and that it can be reversed, right? Anything you can create, you can uncreate. And autoimmune disease is a creation of your body when certain systems are out of balance. So what are those systems? We just talked about that hormones are the regulators and of everything, all systems in your body. They tell all your systems what to do, when to do it, how much to do it, and when to stop. And so what hormone is involved with autoimmune disease? Let's see if any of my students are watching and they can answer this question, because if you've done my Hormone Balance Mastermind or my Gut Rehab and Detox or any of my programs, I teach you how to know what's happening. So let's see. I don't see anyone commenting, so I'm going to tell you it's your cortisol hormone. But one hormone leads into all the others. So it leads into hundreds of others, but there's 7 main metabolic hormones. And I'm going to teach you about that on Thursday during my free training. So autoimmune disease, you have to have, it's an inflammatory disease. You have unbridled activation of the immune system in a dysfunctional way where it's overactive and attacking your cells, right? Your immune system is not designed to attack you. It's designed to attack outside invasion, viruses, bacteria, parasites, foods that could be harmful, chemicals in the environment. That's what our immune system is. It's our body's military. Hey, I can't see who said hey because it just says Facebook user. Like you actually have to register with StreamYard for your name to show up. But so glad to see you, or let me know who's here. So, hey, Lily GS8. So autoimmune disease is unbridled activation of your body's military, your immune system, in a dysfunctional way. It's attacking you. Not supposed to happen, right? It's not supposed to happen. Just like when we're pregnant, our immune system shouldn't attack the baby, even though the baby is genetically different from us. We have an immune suppression that happens during pregnancy that stops our immune system from attacking the baby. It says, no, don't attack this. This may not be you, but it's something that you care about, and don't attack it. So we have a little bit of immune suppression that happens during pregnancy. And our immune system knows self versus not self. That's its first lesson, right? Just like when you're a baby and you're newborn, you're born into this world and you look at your hand and you're like, remember how babies are so fascinated with their hand, and then all of a sudden here comes another hand, and then they discover their feet and they put their feet in their mouth, and right, the whole task of the infant is to discover what's me and what's not me and not me. And then we go through that phase, babies do 6-12 months, where they get it, me, not me, and they're thrilled with peekaboo, right? Because you're there and then you're not there. You're there, you're not there. Well, your immune system goes through the same thing with learning. It has to learn how to function. So you've got your innate immune system, you have innate immunity, and you get a lot of it from your mother. But your immune system has to learn what's okay, what's not okay, what's me, what's not me. And autoimmune disease is a direct confusion of the immune system where it doesn't know what's you. It doesn't understand, and it starts attacking you. So it's miseducation of your immune system. And that's the accelerator inflammation on autoimmune disease. So autoimmune disease, every disease has an accelerator. Think you're driving your car, foot on the accelerator, you're going forward, it's driving that disease. But every disease has a brake. That the disease will only exhibit itself when the brake is broken. And for most diseases that we have, the brake, or a lot of them, is cortisol. Cortisol is your brake on inflammation. Almost all diseases are inflammatory at their essence. So autoimmune disease occurs when you have a confused immune system in overactivation, doesn't understand the difference between not me and me, going on super drive with inflammation, foot on the accelerator, and the brake is broken, and the brake is cortisol, the stress hormone. So if cortisol is working and you're doing great, then you're not going to have autoimmune disease. You only get autoimmune disease when your brake is broken. Cortisol is your brake, and that relates to all your other hormones. Yep. Your sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, your insulin, your thyroid, all your hormones. So it's not like, everybody wants to know, well, what's the one hormone problem that I have? I wish it were one, but it's not. It's many. And so you have to look at this in totality. So how do you reverse autoimmune disease? Good for you, again, for knowing that it can be reversed. And I see it all the time. You can go from having autoantibodies to having none. Yep, none. You have to re-educate the immune system, get rid of the inflammation, which is a whole topic in and of itself. And that's why I created the gut rehab and detox program, so you can do that. get rid of that inflammation and confusion in your immune system. And you've got to get your brake back. Get your brake back, right? If your car doesn't have any brakes, you've got to get them fixed or get a car with brakes. So you got to fix your cortisol. And that's about the hormone rebalancing. So awesome question to whoever submitted that. All right, let's see what other questions we have. All right, we've got someone who has hormonal migraines, progesterone causing migraines and vomiting. Okay, so we just talked about that all health problems have a foundation of hormonal imbalance because they are the regulators and communicators. And you're having hormonal migraines. So she doesn't say if, so this is the thing, you got to test, don't guess, because you know, when I practiced mainstream OBGYN, I did what I was taught to do. And when we would have someone come in who was having migraine headaches, we would look to see, was it related to their menstrual cycle or not? Or was it related to any artificial hormones they were taking or not? Temporally, right? Time-wise. Does it come only on the menses? Does it come a few days before the menses? Does it come between the menses at ovulation? If you're menopausal, does it come when you're on hormones, started hormones, stopping hormones? So not a whole lot of information here, but that's what we're taught as regular clinicians is just go based on symptoms and then make a diagnosis. We don't test, regular doctors don't test hormone levels. It's not part of the standard of care. That's how we're taught. So it sounds like that's the kind of care that you've had. And progesterone causing migraines and vomiting, that's very abnormal. So progesterone is actually generally the nervous system calming hormone. It's the anti-anxiety, antidepressant. And if you think about it, anxiety and depression are related to nervous system interruption or activation. So progesterone is the calming. So our headaches and migraines are about your nervous system has some disruption or irritation going on, and progesterone generally will calm that down. So what I would say is it sounds like you don't have a progesterone deficiency and someone's giving you progesterone. And the problem is if you don't have a progesterone deficiency and someone gives you progesterone, you're going to cause a problem. And it sounds like that's what's happening for you. Progesterone is causing migraines and vomiting, which means you probably don't need progesterone. So it means that you've got something else going on that's causing your headaches. We just talked about reversing autoimmune disease and how every disease has inflammation on the accelerator in the car of disease at its heart, and migraines are no different. So this question may sound completely different, but it's actually a little similar. There's something inflammatory driving you to have migraine headaches, driving you to have nervous system excitation and irritability and inflammation, and the brake is broken. No brake on inflammation. So progesterone is a brake that we can have on inflammation, and yours is not functioning for whatever reason, but cortisol is too, and so is DHEA and these other hormonal regulators. So it sounds like you need tests, not guess, and need to get evaluated for exactly what imbalances are contributing to this. I would say also with migraines, you could have a certain degree of toxicity, which equals inflammation, which could be activating your nervous system to headaches. But it sounds like if the progesterone is causing you worse migraines and vomiting, you don't need it. So probably, you know, you always, anything I say, you want to get checked with your doctor. But I would find somebody who actually will test your hormones and not guess and tell you what to do. Thank you for that question. That's an amazing question, though. Hormonal migraines just shouldn't, it shouldn't be a thing that you have to deal with. It just shouldn't be. If you're balanced and you know you're detoxed and your gut is healed, that should go away. All right, here's somebody who says, you know what, I think I'm in the wrong question. Sorry, I was in the menopause questions from last time. Okay, Here's the health questions, because that's what I asked you to submit. Okay. I put on weight and it seems like it's harder to take off, maybe because of low energy and lack of desire. Will I ever feel normal again? So thank you for submitting that question. I wish I had more data like, how old are you? What other symptoms are you having? Because weight gain is a symptom of imbalance. So one thing that everybody, and I had a lot of questions on here about weight and difficulty getting weight off, can't lose weight. I lost it and regained it. I can't lose it at all. What's happening to me, often coupled with fatigue. If that's you, give me a shout out in the comments section. And so, will you ever feel normal again? And that's a question I get all the time. And I remember feeling that way when I weighed 243 pounds. Will I ever feel normal again? I felt like a stranger in my own skin. I would get up in the morning and I'd be like, whose body is this? And how did I get here? How do I get back? Falanda says, that's me. Anybody here too? I see a bunch of you over here. Let me know if that's you. I felt like an alien in my own body. I was like, what has happened to my body that I used to have? And so this is the thing. When you're 20 or whatever age and all your hormones are balanced by design, your body functions smoothly, and maybe you go on a cruise and you gain a few pounds because you pig out, and then you come home and you work out a few extra times and you don't eat a few things and the weight comes right off, right? That's how your body, when your hormones are balanced, will release weight. But we have programmed hormonal imbalance, ladies, for most of us by the time we're 40. We're programmed that way at birth. Guess what? There's a little program, just like a computer program in your computer, that says, okay, when this organism gets to be 40 years old, we're going to start shutting down the hormones, right? You're born that way. It happens to all of us, and yet it's not a thing that we doctors educate you about because we just don't, right? It's just not part of what we're trained in. But most women, by the time they hit 40s, they're scratching their head going, WTF is happening to me? If that's you, let me know. That was me. I was 47 and I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening to me? And I was like an OBGYN and supposed to know, but nobody prepares you for really it's one thing to read about it in a textbook. It's one thing to have patients who have this. When it becomes real is when you're hitting the snooze button and can't get out of bed, you're falling asleep at the dinner table, have no energy for your kids. You can't fit in your Chico's 3+ size clothes, and you run home from trying clothes on in tears because you're like, I just keep getting bigger no matter what I do. And so I totally relate to you. It's a whole other thing when it's you. And so what I want you to know is that you're not alone, number one. You are having this by design, number two. And number three, there is an answer. And yes, you can feel normal again. But it takes understanding what's happening to you and a coordinated effort, comprehensive effort to fix it, and support to get there, and understanding. I always say knowledge, tools, and support. So that's why I'm doing the training on Thursday, which you can sign up for on my website, KieranDunstonMD.com. It is free, helping you understand why your weight is going up and your energy is going down, how these are linked, what are your 7 main hormones, why they are the controllers, and most important, what you need to do about it. So definitely go to my website and sign up for that. But you're not crazy is the other thing I want to tell you, because I know that for me, I got to the point because I kept running tests on myself. They would all come back normal. I'd go to my doctor. I'd say something's wrong. She'd run tests. She'd say they're normal. And I really started thinking I was crazy. And I also felt like a moral failure. Any of you relate to this? Because what do people, what does society say about us when we're overweight? They say we're lazy, we're shameful, we ate too much, we didn't move enough, we're lazy, we're sitting around eating bonbons, watching TV. So it's a shameful thing. And it's your fault. That's what society tells us. It's your fault and you should be ashamed. I was so ashamed. Here I was, a OBGYN, supposed to know more about women's health than anyone else. And I weighed 243 pounds, and everyone could see that I was not healthy. So talk about shame. And, health is not a straight line to the finish line, because I lost 100 pounds and kept it off for many, many years. And then during this shutdown, how many of this happened to you? I stopped doing all the things, right, to keep my hormones balanced and my body detox and all the things I know to do. And gained 37 pounds. And I didn't even get on the scale till almost 3 months ago. I knew it was bad because my clothes weren't fitting and I was like, something's wrong, but I couldn't take that step to face reality. How many of you were there? And then finally, June 23rd, I just was like, we were opening back up and I was like, okay, ignorance is not bliss. And maybe you're still in that. I'm not even going to get on the scale because I don't even want to know. I'm still going to wear my stretch pants because I can't face it because I don't even know what to do. I at least knew, okay, I know there's damage because I haven't done any of the things. I went into fight flight and my cortisol went out of balance because I literally had it like months of, oh my God, we're all going to die. I literally did. I'm kind of ashamed to admit it, but hey, that's what it was. Just being honest. I didn't leave my apartment. I didn't do anything. Right. I was like, well, we're going to die, so I'll eat whatever I want. I mean, I just was like, it was bad, y'all. It was bad. Maybe you can relate. So finally, June 23rd, I got on the scale. I was like, oh, okay. Knowledge is power. 37 pounds you gain. Okay. No problem. You know what to do, girl. You got this. So got back. I was like, I know what to do. Started back doing all my things to balance my hormones, heal my gut, do all the things that I teach people to do. And next Tuesday, I'm going to weigh again and I should be 30 pounds down. And that's 3 months and 1 week. And I've got pictures that in my emails that I sent out to y'all with pictures of the scale. I was like, I want to memorialize this to show you all. Health is a journey. Like I always tell you, health is a journey, not a destination. You're constantly navigating. So you got to get rid of this thought of, oh, I want the extreme diet and then I'm going to be good and I don't have to worry about this again. No, it's navigating. It's like, you don't go out in your car one time and have to follow the traffic lights and use your left turn signal. Every time you get on the road, you got to be following the traffic lights and use your left turn signal. It's the same with your health. Every morning when you get up, you've got to be doing the things, right? Yeah, thumbs up. I'm telling you. So that'll be 30 pounds, should be next Tuesday when I weigh myself. If you want to see, I will take a picture, get on. And the other 7 should be easy peasy, and that'll be, in the next month. So you're not alone. Health is a journey, not a destination. It's not one thing, it's many things. And come and I'll teach you about this on Thursday. So thank you so much for submitting that question. It's a very common one. All right, what else we got? Thank you guys for submitting these. Woo, okay. Woo. This looks like from someone in one of my programs. Okay, because she says the extensive information I've received since March regarding hormone and gut. She says she hasn't completely absorbed every last detail and would like to be able to access the videos at least a year from now. Yeah, and you get that access in my programs. Like reading a good book again, and she wants to be able to absorb and review new aspects. Yes. Yeah, so the materials are there for you, right? So if you join my program, you purchase one of my programs, you've got that information. And it is kind of like, oh, it's Eileen. She put her name. It is a process, you know. I wish, and in the world that I envision, young girls are taught about their health starting in kindergarten, right? And then every year there's age appropriate education of girls and boys. But you know, I'm all about helping the women and girls. There's age appropriate knowledge so that you understand how your body works on a foundational level. You're hormonally literate. Like, I can't imagine how wonderful menarche, or when young girls first get their period, would be if they were hormone literate. But right now we see this epidemic of horrible stories. Ask anyone their menarche story, like, tell me about when you first got your period. Painful periods, cramps, clots, crazy irregular periods. It's, for a lot of people, a very difficult time. Whereas if they had been hormonally illiterate before they hit that stage when they got their period, if their moms were hormonally literate and understood all the things that went into it, it's not just like about the sex hormones, it's about the insulin hormone, which leads into what you're eating. Most people aren't aware that what they're eating has anything to do with their period. Yes, it has everything to do with your period, and young girls need to know this. So my goal in my programs is to teach people, make them hormonally illiterate and inflammation literate. So yes, Eileen, you'll have access to that. But my ultimate goal would be for us to have that teaching in school. Like, you know, I learned in my school career, what about you? Some of the most esoteric information that I will never use, like about Napoleon and his war. I kind of, even then, back then, used to think, why is this important for me to know? But you know, how to balance a checking account would have been really helpful, or how to invest money would have been really helpful, or how to be hormonally illiterate. You know, what programs my body to have a good, healthy, normal period, or what programs my body to have a crazy ass period. Because I was one of those with crazy ass periods. If that's you, give me a thumbs up wherever you're watching this. And, you know, I think that's partly why I went into this field, is because my female health history was so jacked up that I really wanted to make it not that way for other people. So thank you for that question, Eileen. Thank you for participating in the programs. And yes, it's a lifelong journey to really navigate your health journey. So it's not a destination. Okay, here's a great question. How do you decide what supplements are right for you? How many of you have that question? You're like online and there are a gazillion supplements from a gazillion different people, myself included. And you go to the store and you're like, there's another gazillion supplements, and you're like, I don't even know. And then you hear somebody talking about, oh, this one supplement, this is the one you need. I took it and I lost 30 pounds like that. And you're like, oh, maybe that's the one I need. So you stock up and you buy 6 months of it, and then you start taking it, and maybe you notice some differences, but after a while, you don't even take it anymore because you're like, this isn't the answer. How many of you? Michelle says, I live in New York City. Can you recommend a gynecologist? I wish I could, Michelle, but I don't know any in New York City. How many of you have done that? You're like, I've done that. I think I bought that fat burner. Like back when I weighed 243, I was so desperate. I had tried the Nutrisystems, the Jenny Craig's, the Weight Watchers, different crazy workout programs, diet pills, phentermine, and I had seen like an ad for the fat burner. How many of you bought the fat burner? I think I bought like 6 months, like I just said. I mean, this should tell you something, that a board certified doctor is like on the internet buying the fat burner for 6 months. That's how much we know about weight loss, most of us. No, and after a while, stop taking it because it wasn't doing anything. So how do you know what supplements are right for you? It's not a simple answer. I wish so we're in our culture medically, we are trained, and we train people, you and me, all of us, we doctors, it's our culture, that for every symptom the answer is to get rid of the symptom. And that when you have gotten rid of the symptom, success has occurred. That is the very foundation of our entire medical system. Our medical system exists to get rid of symptoms. And if there's a pill for every ill, if we give the pill and the symptom's gone, got a migraine headache, you take this pill, migraine's gone. Can't sleep, take this pill, then you can sleep, success. Or got a tumor in your stomach and you need it taken out, you do surgery to take it out. So there's a surgery for every symptom or a pill for every ill. And that when that symptom is gone, success. But the truth is that symptoms are not the enemy. We've just taught you that they are the enemy. Symptoms are the language of your body. It is your body speaking to you and whispering to you, something's wrong. I need you to pay attention to something. And so until we have that fundamental paradigm shift, we're going to try to apply every tool that we come across in the same fashion, including supplements. So if you try to use supplements in the same fashion, okay, you get it that drugs aren't the answer, surgery's probably not the answer, and sometimes it is, right? If I'm having a heart attack, I want to go to an American hospital and I want American doctors to treat me, and I want, if I need an anticoagulant, if I need a cardiac bypass, emergency medicine in the US is the best. It will save your life, right? I want that. But for these chronic problems, the issue is that we try to apply the same answers. And so then we take that same discipline and we want to look at supplements. Well, I know drugs and surgery aren't the way for these chronic problems, but I can't sleep. How do I know which supplement is the right one to make me sleep? Wrong question, okay? Because you're trying to just apply a natural substance, which, let me tell you, most of the drugs that we use were derived from natural substances like red yeast rice to lower cholesterol, right? They extracted the active ingredient and then they put it into Lipitor, and then they tried to sue everybody, Eli Lilly, and prevent them from using red yeast rice or components of it. It was a whole thing. So a lot of the drugs that we use come from natural supplements. So if you're trying to find a supplement to get rid of your symptom, that's the wrong question. What you need to do is figure out why you have the symptom and what the symptom is trying to tell you. And then once you know why, then you address the why, and you pick the supplement to address the why. So let me give you the example of sleep. Mainstream medicine, you go to the doctor, I can't sleep. What does the doctor do? Not too many tests that they're going to do. Maybe they'll do a sleep apnea test. Are you stopping breathing? Maybe not. But not really much. But they'll tell you take Benadryl or Tylenol PM, or, maybe some melatonin and try to help you sleep. Okay. Which those soporifics, those medications to cause you to sleep, like Ambien, Lunesta, those are only approved for short-term use, less than 6 weeks. I know some people who've been on them for 5, 10 or more years because they actually exacerbate your insomnia in the long run, and they create dependence and tolerance and an addiction. They disrupt your sleep patterns and the restorative sleep that you get. Okay, off the topic. So back to, when we look at a root cause approach and we look at you can't sleep as a symptom, your body's whispering something's wrong. We look at why you can't sleep. Sleep is multifactorial. There are many factors that go into allowing you to be able to sleep. Sleep is an allowing, right? You can't sit there and go, I gotta go to sleep right now. A side thing, when I was practicing OBGYN, one night I was up in the middle of the night and ended up having to do a stat C-section on a baby that was having a trouble. And so we're getting the team organized to get the OR and the anesthesia and get the tray set up so we can deliver this baby by stat C-section. And everybody's yelling to the anesthesiologist, go to sleep, because that's what we say when they put someone out for surgery. And so we're all yelling, go to sleep. And the woman who is getting ready to have the stat C-section says, I would if you all would be quiet. Right? So sleep is not a voluntary activity. You can't will yourself to sleep. It's an allowing. And there are certain conditions in your body that have to be met for you to allow sleep, right? Hormone balance, your melatonin has to come up. Your cortisol, stress hormone, has to come down, which is directly intertwined with your insulin hormone. And those are related to your thyroid hormone. And then your sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, are also tied in there. You have to have not too much toxicity in your body. Your body detoxes at night. And if you're very toxic and inflamed, that will interfere with the brain centers that actually allow you to sleep. So there are lots of things that have to go on to happen for you to be able to go to sleep. So we test, don't guess, and we look at what are all these hormones doing? What's your toxicity level? What's happening? And then we choose supplements based on what those root causes are of why you can't sleep. And then when you fix the root causes, you sleep. Not because you took some supplement, Randar supplement, that's just going to knock you out, but because you addressed what your body was asking for by going, I can't sleep, something's wrong. You actually took the time to listen and dissect it out. So I love this question. Thank you for submitting it, because it really represents the paradigm shift that all of us has to make eventually if we are going to get to our health promised land. So we all have, I'll call it like in the Wizard of Oz, we all have an Oz we want to get to with our health, right? Size 4 jeans, sleep great all night, energy like when I was 20, great sex drive, mental function, mood, like great digestion. Who's here with me? If you're like, yes, that's my Oz promised land. Yes, right? Because that will allow us to do all the things that we want to do in life. And that's what it's all about, to have fun, to be present for our family, right? Watch our kids grow up and be there when they have kids, be there to support them, be there fully at our best selves, right? Not laying in the bed, across the bed going, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel like shit? If that's you, give me a thumbs up, because I know that was me and I know I'm not alone. Because I talk to people who are doing this every day, like going, what is wrong with me? We all have a health Oz that we want to get to because of the things that we want to do in life, right? The places we want to go, the people we want to meet, the things we want to accomplish, the satisfaction and meaning that we want in life. And we know that we're not going to get there feeling like an alien in our body. Because if we feel like aliens in our body, we're just going to sit inside and say no to life. And we don't show up for life. I know, because that was me for years. I didn't have the energy to show up. I didn't have the energy to say yes. So I know that you all have an Oz you want to get to for your life and for your health. You got to have the health to get to the life part. And you've got to make that paradigm shift from, I just need the right pill or the right surgery to get the symptom gone Got to go from that to I'm going to view the symptoms that my body's giving me as the whispers calling me to my authentic best health and life, and I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen and discern what it's telling me, meaning I'm going to do the tests. I'm not going to guess. I'm going to respect myself to that degree. I'm going to honor myself and really get the education I should have gotten in grade school about how my body works. And I'm going to get the education that my doctor didn't get and find out so that I can get there. So I love these questions. Thank you so much. I see a few things here. I see Mary Diaz wants to know about her niece at 22 has irregular periods because she consumed soy formula as an infant. It's you know, it's like one day my sister said she has two girls. They're now, one of them's in college, one's a senior. But when they were little, she said she came home one day and they were up in their bedroom. Her husband was watching them, and she opened the door to see how they were doing, and there was baby powder all over everything. All over everything in the room. They were covered in baby powder, their hair, the bed, the carpet, everything. And her immediate reaction was, who started this? Right? So whenever we have a health problem, what our first thing we want to know is, who started this? Was it that soy formula she drank when she was a baby? And each one of her girls pointed at the other one. She did, mommy. She started it. You're never going to get to the bottom of what started what. And if you stare at the past too long trying to figure it out, you will turn to stone like Medusa, right? So you got to start where you are with the paradigm shift of listening, starting to view the symptoms your body's giving you as the whispers to what's wrong. Stop trying to squash symptoms with supplements, with drugs, with surgery. Finding out what's causing it and fixing what's causing it so that you can release and allow your body to ascend to the level of health that it naturally wants to go to. Your body wants to be healthy, right? You cut your finger, all you have to do is protect it with a Band-Aid from dirt and from getting bumped and damaged, and you allow it to heal. You don't cause it to heal. You don't cause your body to heal. You don't cause your body to lose the weight. You allow it. You make the conditions right under which it goes, oh, let go of those 30 pounds. No problem. Because you have allowed it. So anyway, hope to see you Thursday. Sign up on my website. I'll be teaching you more about midlife, metabolism, hormone balance, weight and energy, why you're stuck, what to do about it. KieranDunstonMD.com is my website. You can sign up there, submit your One Health questions to the survey, and I will talk with you tomorrow. I'm going to try to come live at 12:30 every day, allowing, and hopefully I will see you then. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day.